Hi yogis, yoginis. My name is Joelle Slibos, and I'm really honored to be guiding a 16-minute yin practice for you. If you have yoga props, a bolster for example, and blocks, that would be very, very useful. You can work without them. What you can also do instead of a bolster is taking 2 pillows and put them into one pillow sheet. Then you have a similar effect. Now our yin practices are practices to slow down, to meet the pause, moments of self-reflection, to really come into a bit of a meditative state, to ground, to recenter, to allow feelings to arrive, to rise. And yes, maybe you'll meet your mat, maybe you'll meet yourself, on the mat. This is a safe place to heal. Our body is made out of, our physical reality, but there is much more that happens in these practices where we stretch into places and you might even feel emotional. Particularly today's practice because it's around the heart chakra. So an opening of the heart. Now, we all get our hearts. Damaged is a big word, but let's say we all have a little scar on our hearts, Sometimes our heart feels very heavy, specifically if we are in a space of grief. It might even physically feel heavy. And then we feel a little bit closed, and we don't have energy to share with others. We just need to heal that heart. But don't we all want to continue, without rushing it? It takes time. But continue approaching our lives and each other with an open heart. So let's start our practice on our backs. So you can use the blocks or the bolsters. What I'll do is I'll show you 2 variations. You pick the one that works for you. The height of the blocks is up to you. So yes, there's 2 variations, but even within the variations, you can decide the height. And in yin, I often say less is more. The edge will come with time. It's not necessarily about immediately going into a 10 out of 10 and having lots of sensations. It's more subtly feeling into a place where you can breathe freely. So you are going to either put a block under your heart or a bolster. And then you can feel if your head is happy on the floor or if you need something under your head to just have a little bit more comfort in your neck. Yin is not necessarily comfortable, so that was one option. If you don't have a bolster and you want to work with 2 blocks, you can place your block under the heart, right here, under the heart. And when you have a block, you'll notice it's not really comfortable to let the neck hang here. So then I would definitely suggest to put the block under your head as well. Notice the placement is right here, under the heart. So you settle into the shape and then see if you can come in butterfly legs. I've got the bolster, I'm going to use the bolster there. Settle into your asana, into this shape. That might take a couple of moments to really find your variation. And then just let go, trust, and soften. Let's bring the breath in. Now that you've arrived, breathe into the heart space. Let it blossom, let it open. And breathe softness towards your belly. A softening of the jaw, a little bit of space between the top row of teeth and the bottom row of teeth. And inhale through the nose around 4 to 6 counts. And you can just let the air escape really nice and slow, 6 to 8 counts to exhale, probably out of the mouth. Now, one of the gifts of our yin practice is the stillness. And we're not all comfortable with stillness. Notice and meet yourself on your mat. There are no thoughts or feelings that are not allowed here in this space. You are safe to heal, to breathe, to connect to the heart. We'll stay here for a couple more minutes in stillness, and I'll let you know when it's time to move again. Stay with your breath. Deep, slow breaths in. Surrender on the exhale. Let go of your body. Let go of your thoughts. Let go. Take a deep breath in and a sigh out. Bring your hands towards the back of your head. Lift your head and bring your chin towards your chest. You can look at your belly button. We move slow. And from here, you can just roll off your blocks to your props. Place a block at the top, or a pillow or a bolster, but I like, let's see what I need. I'll prepare both of them, and you can always decide later. Come onto your tummy. Now this is where you'll just first do some measurement. So your head is going to be resting either on the block on a height. You'll determine that later. You might have to even move in and out of the shape. And then place your right elbow in front of the left, so they're parallel to the top edge of your mat. Notice that your shoulders are parallel with the floor, and then I'll demonstrate it from here. You're going to walk your elbows until they cross. Shoulders are still at the same level. And that's it. Palms can be facing up, and then you let your head rest onto the floor, onto the block or your bolster. Notice where you want to be. You want to be a little bit higher. Some days are different from others. Maybe a little wiggle still. And then just commit to complete stillness. Close your eyes. The bow tie. Now your arms are an extension of your heart. That's why touch, hugging. Touching your hand on someone else's body. It's a connection through the heart. Opening the back of the heart as well. The space, let's say, between your shoulder blades. Breathe into that space. And in the yoga practices, we also use mantras. We could say, translated loosely, words of affirmation or prayers of gratitude, of the stories, maybe from the Hindu philosophy, mantras outwards or mantras inwards. So thinking and feeling into the heart. We can use an I am mantra today. I am love. I am loved. I am self-love. I am enough. You can find your own mantra and then breathe slowly and just repeat those words. If you're at home and you're by yourself, you can even do it out loud. Sing them gently, softly in your mind or even out loud, or just repeat the words over and over and over again, nice and slow. Stay with your breath. What can you soften now? If you feel tinkling in your hands, it's possible. There might be a slight restriction of the blood here. Your body weight is on your crossed arms. You know that you don't have to stay here. Your yin practice is your practice. You can move towards an edge, whether that is physical or mental, emotionally or spiritually. You can move towards an edge or move away from it, and also allow yourself to completely move out if it becomes overwhelming, if it becomes too much. Let it be healing. Let it be kind. To be here, let it be breathable. And smileable. I'm not saying it's necessarily comfortable. It can be challenging, some shapes, depending on our bodies, depending on what the body has kept score of. In the energetical parts, the deeper layers of your being. Couple more rounds of breath here. Remember, it's the right arm in front of the left. If you by accident did the other arm in front, don't worry. Just make a mental note. It happens. You can do the other side when we get there. For now, just lift your head and slowly, gently. You know, your body is passive. It's intense. Move out. And then just bring your arms next to the body and turn your nose towards the right side. And we practice some belly breathing. Breathe in all the way down to the belly, to the pelvis, and feel the gentle pressure of that balloon filling up, of the stimulation of your diaphragm. We can also call it diaphragmatical breathing, very healthy. Releases stress or anxiety, calms you down. 3 more rounds of breath. Lovely. Bring your chin to the mat. And then I apologize for turning my back to you, but I think it might make sense for you to see this shape on the right and the left side, once from the back and once from the front. So you get a full picture. So bring your arms as if you're on the cross, let's say. Straight, hands are next to your shoulders. You're on the left edge of your mat. You can bring your left hand in front of your face. You can also choose to bend this elbow. I like it straight, but just see what works for you. Different people, different options. Be gentle with your body, be gentle with yourself, and then roll onto your back. Now, the knees can be bent here. Or you can extend your right leg, place your left foot somewhere here in front, or maybe even behind. Your left hand can stay here, or you can lift your waist and slide your left hand, underneath your waist. Some people can even interlace their hands. I'm not there. Different option, different people. Figure out, how do you figure out what works for you? Well, please allow your body to tell you where to go, rather than the mind determining it has to look like this, I have to go there. No. That's not yoga. This is a place where we listen to our inner voice, listen to the body, and build up a relationship with ourselves that is honest and truthful, kind, healing, not necessarily comfortable, yogis. And then just breathe. A last thing I just want to say is that for some people, depending on where you're at, it's not nice to have the head straight onto the floor. If you feel your head is hanging down, just place something like a little towel or a pillow underneath the right side of your head. And that's it. Come back to your mantra. Or visualize a beautiful green light. You can even visualize the heart. It could be the muscles or the shape of a heart inside your body, and then breathe. Let it be green, bright green, shining out in all directions. So you breathe in and you expand that light. You breathe in, you soften. That green light stays. Maybe it dims a bit. It's your imagination, it's your inner world. Very healing to work around the heart space, the heart chakra. The one that sits between the three rooted, more grounded chakras and the three chakras that sit above the heart, connected more to the spiritual world. Align them. And our heart is such a beautiful place where we connect deeply with others. Protecting the heart when we're hurt is okay, but let's avoid creating a layer of cement around our hearts. Let our hearts be soft and kind and gentle and open. And let's be still and just breathe. Slowly start with releasing that left hand if it's underneath your waist and place it back in front of your face. Take a deep breath in. How slow can you move? Slowly bring your nose to the floor, your front of the heart to floor. And then see where your arm wants to be. Let's maybe place them down and turn your nose towards the left. If you want to have them up, also fine. I just find it very relaxing to have them backwards. Couple of conscious belly breaths. Notice that when you breathe all the way down towards the belly, also the lower back starts to extend, the waist. A rising and a falling, a filling up of that balloon all the way down. 3 more rounds of breath. Bring your chin to the floor. And let's come back into our bow. Into the center of your mat. Bring your left arm in front of the right. And start to walk them outwards. Your elbows will cross at some level, so they're right in front of each other. Just notice if you're not leaning very much towards one side or the other. So you're level here. And off we go. Soften and breathe. And because your tummy is on the floor here as well, you might choose to also do that pranayama where you really breathe down towards your belly. You can even combine it with your mantra. The inhale, I am. The exhale, love. Inhale, I am. Exhale, love. Or self-love, or enough, or beautiful. Whatever fills your heart with joy. I'm healthy. I mean, that fills my heart with joy, the fact that we're healthy. That my heart is beating. That every breath allows me to bring oxygen, fresh, healthy oxygen into my body. A sigh is welcome at any time. Sometimes it can be really releasing, physically releasing, mentally, emotionally, spiritually releasing, just to go, I feel I'm like stuck a little. I need to just let go of that residual energy. So allow yourself to sigh out loud. Deep sighs, very beneficial. And slowly lift your head. Walk your arms back and relax onto your tummy. Hands down. Turn the nose towards the left side and just relax. Belly breaths are more than welcome. Stay where you are. Just breathe. Feel. Lift your head and then move to the right edge of your mat. Arms can come wide. Bring your right hand onto the tippy tops. You can look to the left just quickly to see if your hand is in line with your shoulder. Starting our timer for us. And then come onto your sides. Remember, you can bend the knees here. Keep your hand right here. Or lift that right leg, bend it and let it support in front or behind your leg. I like to close my eyes so I can really just feel into what the messages that my body is giving me. Body is always right. You just need to learn to listen. Your right hand can stay, or you can lift and slide your hand underneath the waist. And then the last option was just to have something under your head in case that feels better for your neck. The first couple of moments are a settling in, a feeling into what works for you. And then you can just trust that you're in the right place. Some of these shapes are quite intense. Some are not so intense, and it will be different for everybody, depending on your physical composition, depending on your hobbies, your job. If it's even if your job is physically asymmetrical, I'm thinking golf players or hairdressers. Your right shoulder and your left shoulder, you're asking different things from the shoulders if you're doing a lot of things asymmetrically, so it might even feel very different on this side compared to the other side, and that's okay. Just work with the edge. Breathe into any resistance. And I find this quite uncomfortable is a big word, but I can feel it, It's intense. In my body, specifically around the left shoulder. Might be different for you. You can move out whenever you want. There are no have-tos or shoulds on the mat. Stay with your breath. Repeat your mantra. Feel the beating of your beautiful heart, the organ inside your body. The green light. Expanding, shining, your unique light. We have arrived in this asana, in this moment. Can you soften something on the next exhale? Maybe even the tongue inside your mouth. Your tummy, your toes, your nose, the cheeks. Gently release that right end. Go slow. Go slow, you've got time. Slowly, slowly, be kind. Sometimes when we move out of the shapes, you actually go like, whoo, quite intense. Move back to the center of the mat. The arms can be next to you. Turn your nose towards the right side. Ooh, a little wiggle of your bum. And then just stillness. Belly breaths if you'd like to. Add some pranayama. Maybe count the breaths, around 6 to 8 counts to breathe in. Without forcing it, and 8, maybe even 10 counts to breathe out. From here, you can come into your swings pose. I like to use the bolster here. Just see how high you want to go. You don't need the bolster, it's just quite nice because you can let the body be on the bolster. The elbows are in front. And then to support the head, always nice. You know, your neck and your shoulders, they actually carry the weight of your head and your brain. So let your head rest. And the palms can be up or down. That's a choice. It's an energetical choice, maybe even a symbolic choice. Up with the palms, open through the heart, open to receive. And we don't have to be open to receive and open to the outer world all the time. Sometimes, some days, just placing the hands down, even when you sit in meditation, you place the hands down on the thighs or the knees. It's a gesture, energetical gesture, and symbolical gesture to say, you know what? I just want to heal my heart, be with myself. Today, I don't have the energy to share outwards, and there is nothing wrong with that. Come back to the breath. Slow the breath down. And you know, I now, for example, myself feel that I want the block. Do I want the block lower? No, actually not. I thought I wanted that. And it can be, just make sure it's not fiddling. I actually want the block higher. That's what I feel like. That's it. There's something. Yeah, that feels perfect. So you're allowed to move, but when you move as minimal as possible. And understand where it, well, I didn't really understand now, but you know, kind of go, okay, I'm not fiddling, I'm not moving because I'm restless, I'm moving because my physical body is asking me for something. And we don't always have to understand where that information comes from. So much unknown out there. How we heal. How we heal from a broken heart. How we grieve loss, patch up our hearts again, let it heal and continue life. We can be grateful for the fact that we heal, that our hearts find a place to be open again, to connect again, to love again, to begin again. And if tears come, let them be. It's a release. Rather than suppressing emotions, let them be there. Without the emotions taking the driver's seat of your life, let's call it. They are present, they can be here. They're not taking over the situation, they're not taking over the asana. We stay here. We allow the thoughts and feelings to rise, to pass through us, rather than to walk around them. Alright, slowly lift your head. You can move backwards into a child's pose. Option to bring the arms forward or next to the body, whatever feels good to you. And just lie still for just a moment. Now there's one person that we will have to is not the right words I want to say. We benefit from loving one particular person in our lives, and that's ourselves. Practice loving yourself, saying kind things to yourself. There will be many relationship connections. They come and go, some stay for your lifetime. But there's one person that will be in your life, guaranteed that you learn, practice to love your body, love your mind, even when the mind is a chaos. It's okay, you're only human. Get to know yourself, accept yourself, love yourself. Slowly roll up. Makes me think of a moment where I felt deep love for myself. It was that song, I Will Always Love You, and I had this realization. It was like me. I'd gone through a bit of heartbreak. It was like me. I will always love myself. I promised myself that I will practice loving myself regardless of what will happen in life. And I felt it, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Not every day that we completely love ourselves, but it's worth the investment of time, of self-care. Let's come onto our backs, yogis. Take a block width. Supported bridge pose. So you can choose what height you want your block to be. Maybe you start at the lower position and kind of feel into, oh yeah. When I teach these classes in a group setting and I help someone, I look at them and I'm like, let me just help or assist. I change something and they go, oh yeah, much better. Do that to yourself. So if you're here or you're here and you're like, oh yeah, much better, then stay there. Stay with the arms next to body or maybe even overhead. Again, one is not better than the other. And breathe. Let the hips be supported by your block, by your prop, in a way that it can be heavy. With the exhale, let your body melt, sink into the mat. Surrender. Feel safe and supported. Breathe. Another beautiful thing to do, you can use your mind, your heart, this time to pray or to remind yourself of all the loved ones that are part of your life, your community, your support system. I love myself, I love my mother, I love my father. I love the love that I receive from my sister, my friends, my community, my colleagues here at Radiantly Alive, a place to feel safe, sheltered, accepted. I love life. I love living. I love yoga. I love the sunshine. You can do the same in your mind and heart and be overwhelmed with all the things that are there to be loved. And when you mention your loved ones in your community, whether you do it out loud or just on the inside, Know that you are loved by them as well, deeply. Your mother loves you, your father loves you, your husband loves you. Your friends love you. Stay with your breath. And then you have an option. Now, I know some people have the block in the highest position. In that case, I would definitely recommend you to put it lower. And if you're in the middle one, you might even go one lower as well. And just see how this works for you for a couple moments. If it feels alright for your body, you can let the legs extend and the arms overhead. We won't be here for long. Just a moment to be fully open. If it feels alright with you, if it doesn't, just come out of it. Can be quite, or can feel quite vulnerable in a sense, to be so open. No forcing. Breathe. And gently bend your knees. Place the feet flat onto the floor. Your hands can come to your block. Slight engagement, activation of the legs. Bring your hips down towards the floor. Take a deep breath in. And a nice sigh out. And come to Shavasana. You may use a bolster underneath the knees, if that feels nice. Settle in to your pentacle, as we call it in Yin. We call it Shavasana in Vinyasa. Rearrange your clothing and then again just go, okay, this is it. I have arrived. I can just be still. You can choose to stay here just a little longer, or slowly make your way to a seat and finish your practice with a short meditation, which also allows you to stay in meditation. Now that you've created this open heart, grounded and peaceful energy and feeling, you might want to continue after this practice and just use this special time to meditate, to journal. Very healing practices as well. So find your way in a slow, slow way. Again, you can also stay in Shavasana. You know, this is your time, your practice. Meditation could be with your hands on heart center. Stay here as long as you need. Our session together has come to an end. And I want to thank you for joining and for showing up for yourself and to prioritize your healing. May your heart be open so you can connect with the loved ones and people you meet every single day. From my heart to yours. Namaste.